Hello everyone, Zal Armory here. I was just going to do a quick video because I was asked from a subscriber how I make maps and stuff like that. So I'll go through and make one, just a quick video for you here. So let's start with a new game. So what you want to do, if you want to make a custom map, go all the way to the left. Well, not all the way to the left, I guess. Almost. You should have Nazgame, which is the basic map that comes with the game. And then it'll say New Random World. Don't worry about anything else, just click Advanced Generation first. And if you want a really large world that you're going to last, I don't know, over 40-50 days in, you might want to leave it 800. But if you're just wanting like a quick, like little world, 6 to 7 is probably a little better. That way everything's not so spread out. And you can call it whatever you want. That changes the name up here. See? Changes the name up here. I usually put this on high because this will change your preview quality for your window over here. On towns, I usually put that on mini. You can put it on none if you want and just be a completely wilderness pretty much playthrough. But I usually put that on mini. Wilderness POIs, I usually put that on mini or default. Depends on how many of those. It's the ones that are not in towns. It's the little POIs on the outsides. So you can put that on default or mini, whichever you prefer. Rivers, I usually just turn them off. Not like you can gather water from them anymore anyway, so a water source isn't really that important anymore because you don't have jars to collect the water unless you have a mod that you can do that, but otherwise it's no big deal. Craters, I usually turn that crap off. Cracks, turn it off. And lakes, for the same reason as the rivers, I turn it off. Now if you like water in your game, go for it. Leave either one of those in. Me, I just think it's just more of a pain in the ass because now you got more stuff you got to drive around. So to me personally, it's not worth it. Plains, I usually max that out because I like plains. I turn down mountains and I turn down hills. This still isn't going to be a flat map. The map I'm playing runners in right now is exactly like this, flat. But it's not flat. It's never going to be completely 100% flat. But that's realistic, okay? If you want mountains in them, go for it. But that's just more stuff that you're going to have to drive around or get over or whatever. But it does make for some scenic views. So, I mean, if that's what you want. Now, the biomes is all personal choice. Let's start down here at the wasteland. The wasteland is your in-game area pretty much. So that's where your higher tier ammo, or not ammo, your weapons and all that stuff's gonna drop. I wouldn't recommend starting full-on wasteland. I've tried that. It can be done, but you gotta know what you're doing to survive that, because it's rough. There's bears, there's zombie bears, actually, not regular bears, zombie bears. So if you kill them, you don't even get any meat from them, you get zombie flesh. So more or less pointless unless you are wanting to start a garden out there or whatever, which you probably would need to. But yeah, the wasteland's your in-game one. So I usually put that right in the middle for the map. That way I have some. Pine Forest, that's your starting area. So it's always good to have that one about middle of the road too. So right now they're about 50-50. And then I usually never have on the desert at all. Or not the snow. Now, the desert, you need that for, what's it called? Oh, I'm blanking. Oil shell. You need that for oil shell. You're only going to find that in the desert. So you don't need a whole hell of a lot of it, but you do need some. The snow biome, there's nothing in the snow biome except for a bunch of animals, if you want to deal with that crap. But there's nothing in the snow biome that you can't get in these three. Actually, these two. The desert and forest biome. If you don't want to have wasteland, you don't even need it truly. You can just go pine, forest, and desert. And if you don't want to make your own oil ever, gas, and just loot from cars, you can just go straight on pine forest. But I recommend putting it right through there, and then maybe right about there. About like that. And then just generate your world. I'll fast forward through this part because they have sped it up a lot, but it still takes some time. And if the bigger world you make up here, the longer it takes. But it's gotten a lot quicker than it used to be. So I'll let you see here. Alright, yeah, I was gonna say that probably took about 3 minutes, and then the thing popped up for 3 minutes. So now this is gonna load in your whole town, so it gives you a little heads up of where things gonna be. If you had this on low, you wouldn't see so much, but that's why I always turn this up to highest, so I can kind of see what I've got going on here. So you can see you got a little town over here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty good sized towns in the starting forest biome. And then you got 2 little towns, which is okay. Really, you would like one of these big cities over here. This brown right here, that's the wasteland, and this tan is the desert. If I chose any snow, it would be white area. Yeah. And the whole thing is covered by water on the outsides, except for up here for some reason. But that doesn't matter. So, and then to start your map, see it says that name right there. Used to, you had to remember that and then go search for it. But all you got to do now is go to New Game, and it's already there. And there's the size we picked. You can call it whatever you want. Now, since how I live on the West Coast, I usually put it here, and then I usually put not listed. That way people can't try to find your games. If you do want to play with people, that's fine. Just leave it on public. You don't even have to put a password in there, and then you can, yeah, it looks like 16 players is the max for your server. You can get people to play with you or not. But I usually play not listed, and I just usually turn this down to 1. And then your game doesn't even show up on the search for games. Here's your difficulty settings, obviously. Warrior being the highest, Nomad, Adventure, and then you got Scavenger as the lowest. Thought there used to be another one. Oh, Survivalist and Insane, okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is the white ones are the default, so if you want to change it, it'll turn yellow. 24-hour cycle, I usually leave that on an hour. That seems pretty good. An hour for in-game day, so that's your in-game time. So day 1's going to be 60 minutes, day 2 is going to be 60 minutes. Yeah. Go over to basic. Here's your blood moons. So if you want a blood moon every 7 days, which is standard, you leave that right there, and then you leave that right there. And this is just your warning. Whenever the day turns red up in the top, that's what that is. Blood moon count. If I'm truly want to play with hordes, I'll usually max that out, but that is pretty difficult. So if you don't want that many enemies, you can just keep it. Standard's only 8, so that's no big deal. And that means every wave of enemies that comes in, it doesn't mean you're only going to get 8 enemies at night. It means the waves are going to be size of 8 pretty much. These are your zombie speeds. If you want, their standard is to walk during the day and sprint at night. Now when I play runners, I got it on Nightmare. So they're always running. But standard is walk during the day. See, there's even a jog. Walk, sprint, sprint, sprint. This right here, I don't recommend that to new people, because what it is they can sense you. I don't know what the range is, but if you turn that on, oh, you can hurt night or day too. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was just on or off, but yeah. What it does is they sense you, and they will come running after you from a further distance away. These right here. Oh, here's your. This right here. I think this is just for multiplayer, perhaps. Yeah, XP multiplier. If you just want the standard 100%, that's fine. But if you want 300%, you can have it. Okay. Advanced. I usually turn this up. I can't remember. I think I have it on 200% on my playthrough of Runners. But you can have it all the way at 300. It's your block damage. So whenever you're axing a tree or a block or something like that, you do 300% more damage than you would normally. That's what that is. And the AI, the zombies, that's how much they do damage. So on the Runners, I have them at 300%. So they can just bust through those doors if they need to. It's just a little bit more dangerous for me. But you can leave them at 100%. That way it takes them a little while to beat through that crap. Or if you have a horde base and you don't want it completely wrecked every single time, just leave that at 100, or hell, turn it down if you want. The less repairs you gotta do. Oh, and you can just change it on Blood Moons. So if you don't want them to do 100% on Blood Moons, you can turn that down to half if you want. So you got less to repair. Here's your loot abundance. You want just your normal loot, or you want double. Or you can have all the way down to 25%, which I have played that. It's rough. You open up a lot of packages with nothing on them. So I recommend just leaving that there or bumping it up. Elite respawn time, the lowest you can have is 5 days. So that means you loot this house, 5 days later, it'll respawn all the crap inside it. Which you can disable that for a more realistic play, because why would stuff appear back in there, right? But the standard is, what was it, 7 days? Yeah, okay, every 7 days it's supposed to respawn. Chunk reset, that's just the chunk of area map you're in. You can have that reset every 10 days if you want. I think that's more has something to do with the trees and the trees and all that stuff. Drop on death. If you die in this game, the standard is you drop everything. Okay. But you can just have drop on death nothing. So when you die, you don't lose anything. Or you can just drop your tool belt, or just your backpack, or delete all. Don't do that one. I mean, delete all is fine if you're playing a permadeath like I am, because it doesn't matter. It's not like you can just pick up where you left off. You're dead. So delete all is fine on that. But if you're playing a game, and especially if you're new, don't have that on. Just if you're new, I would put it on nothing. So if you die, you spawn back at your bedroll wherever you placed that last keyword. Wherever you placed it last, that's where you'll appear with all your crap. Drop on quit. I don't know why you'd really want that on at all, but anyway. Enemy spawning, leave that on, because that'll make it so the enemies come. Your airdrops, the standard is every 3 days, but you can turn it to every day. So that little plane that goes over the top and drops a package every day, you can have them do it every day. 3 days, 7 days. Okay. New people, I've definitely put it on every day, but the standard is 3 days. This is just for creative mode. If you want to create creative mode, if you're playing creative mode, you're probably not actually playing the game how it's intended to be anyway. But and mark airdrops, leave that on. That's standard because that'll show up on your map like a little yellow mark on the map. But you can turn that off if you don't want it on. Multiplayer. So yeah, you can have all these different options for PvP or non-PvP. I recommend just putting on this one. If you're playing with other people and you don't want to kill them, just leave it on this one. This is your claim size, so whenever you put that little land claim block down, that's how big it is. The dead zone, I think that's yeah, the blocks on the edge of player's land. Okay. Claim duration 7 days. Okay, all this stuff really doesn't matter that much. Oh, this one right here, party shared kill range. Now, if you are playing in a party, make sure you turn this up, because sometimes your partner can be, or your teammate can be this far away, okay? And they still want to you still want to share your XP with them. So if you're only, you can also disable that so that everyone gets their own XP. All right, that's cool. So if you have it on 100 meters, which is the standard, if they're 200 meters away and they kill something, you won't get any XP for it. That's what that is. I think that's pretty much everything. I think I pretty much explained everything. And you just press start and jump into your game. Bada bing, bada boom. Hopefully that answered everyone's questions about starting new games or creating your own map or whatever. If you do have any more questions, or you do want me to go through something else about the game, let me know. Well, I'll try my best. I mean, I don't consider myself a professional at this game, but I've got a lot of hours in it. So I've got over 3,000 hours just on the computer one, not counting when I started on the PlayStation 3, 4. Yeah, the 4. And I played that for probably a good couple of years before even switching to, there's the wasteland right there, before even switching to computer. And the only reason I did that is because the PlayStation never got any updates. And I wanted to stay updated with the game. Okay, I don't need to play this map. But anyway, if you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. All right, see you in the next Runners. I forgot what episode that is, but all right, bye.